and welcome back to my channel. So today I filmed this first impressions eyeshadow tutorial using this new Sheglam eyeshadow palette. So this is a 12 pan palette filled with 12 beautiful matte shades, and this is their Smart Cookie palette. So it's based on cookies and it's all browns and neutral shades and mattes, of course. So I just love the shades in this palette. So when I saw this online, I knew that I had to pick it up and share it with you guys. So if you guys want to see how I got this eyeshadow look using this palette, then please continue watching this video so you guys can see everything about this palette, my first impressions, how the shadows applied, and everything else. So I'm going to be using this beautiful new Sheglam Smart Cookie eyeshadow palette. So I actually saw this online, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to get it because it just had my name written all over it. I'm in love with all of these beautiful warm tone neutral matte shades that are found in this palette, and I actually had one palette from Sheglam that I've tried before this, which was the Afterglow palette, and that is a really beautiful palette, but it had like a mix of mattes and metallics, they were gorgeous, and I love that palette. I actually have a couple of tutorials using that palette here on my channel, so if you guys want to see that, I can link them in the description box. But I really love this palette, and I love the fact that the names of each shadow are actually written on the actual palette itself, because the Afterglow one that I tried, the names are written on the clear plastic like film that was like covering the shadow, so you can just like remove that, but then you would not see the names of the shadows. So I just love that they added that little extra touch. The last thing that would be amazing is if they added a little mirror, but I mean, for the price, you can't really ask for too much. So I really love this little palette here. So as you guys can see, this is the front of the palette. It's really cute, and they also have the names written on the back there. And then you have these 12 beautiful all matte shadows. They're all like warm tone neutral shades. So super beautiful, super versatile, and I just love this all matte palette. So I'm so excited to use it and share my first impressions with you guys on camera. So for this eyeshadow look that I'm going to do, I think I'm of course going to keep it all matte. I just want to use all of the shadows that are found in this palette, so I'm not going to like mix any other shadows in for this look. So let's just get started. Let's jump right into this eyeshadow tutorial using this beautiful Sheglam Smart Cookie palette. And first I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with this Morphe eyelid primer in their Translucent shade. So I'm just taking some of that primer and I'm just going to blend that out with my fingertips. Now I'm going to go in with this fluffy blending brush. This is the ColourPop E2 brush, and I think I want to go into this beautiful shade here in the palette that is like almost like a peachy orange matte shade there, and that one is called Humble Crumble, and I'm just going to place that all in the crease using this brush. I'm very impressed with how the shadow is blending. There's like no fallout, and I didn't even put any translucent powder underneath, which is what I usually like to do, but I kind of skipped that step today and risking it a little bit, but so far there is no fallout and the shadows are just really pigmented and buttery and blending out really nicely, so very impressed so far. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this thinner blending brush. This is a ColourPop E9 brush here, and I'm gonna go into this beautiful, rich brown shade. That one is called Brown Sugar, and I'm just gonna use that to deepen up the crease even furthermore and really add some definition mixed in with that beautiful, like bright kind of orangey shade. Kind of gonna do like an ombre effect there. So we're gonna go in with that shade called Brown Sugar. As you guys can see, that nice rich brown shade is really nice, and it pairs well with that like brighter orange shade we used. It's just really blending really seamlessly together and like very effortlessly. So I'm loving these shadows so far. Even though I've only tried 2 of them, they're just working so nice and they feel so high-end, so I am loving this palette. Okay, so we have that beautiful brown shade blended in, and I think I want to do a cut crease, so I'm going to go in with my favorite concealer for that. I'm going to be using this ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 00. So this is their pure white concealer, and I'm going to be using this ColourPop E24 brush to create the cut crease with that concealer. So I'm just going to focus that concealer towards the inner corner of the eye, and that is where the cut crease is going to mainly be. So as you guys can see, I just kind of blended out the concealer towards the outer edge there. I'm not adding too much concealer towards the outer corner of the eye, I just focused it on the inner corner, and we don't need too much. It doesn't have to be like stark white, so you just need a little bit just to kind of create that cut crease and give you that guideline, because I'm gonna go in with one of those nice creamy matte shades and place that there. Okay, so now that we have that cut crease defined, I'm gonna go in with this ColourPop E13 brush here. It's kind of like a wider, flat, fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into this shade in the palette there. That one is like a really beautiful creamy shade, and that is called Fortune Teller, and I'm just gonna place that all where we have the cut crease defined. So now I'm gonna go back in with the ColourPop E9 brush and back into that brown sugar shade there. And I'm just gonna use that to deepen up the outer corners again and just make sure everything looks nice and blended. Okay, so now I'm gonna go onto the lower lash line, and I'm gonna be using this small little pencil brush here from ColourPop. This is their E28 brush. I'm gonna go back into that beautiful brown sugar shade there, and I'm just gonna blend that all on the lower lash line. And I'm gonna go in with this really thin pencil brush. This is also from ColourPop, and it is their E10 brush. And I actually wanna go into the deepest shade here in the palette. That shade there is called Devil's Food. And I'm just gonna place that right along the waterline there just to really deepen up the crease and add some more definition. I'm gonna go in with this light shade there that's almost like a white shade. That one is called Milky Way. I just kind of use that shade to brighten up the inner corner even more. So now I'm gonna put on some mascara, and I'm gonna be using this ColourPop Act Natural Defining Mascara in the shade Black. So I'm just gonna place that on the top and bottom lashes. Okay, so you could of course just leave it at that, but I am going to pop on a pair of lashes. But before I do that, I almost forgot to line my waterline, and I'm gonna be using this nice dark brown shade. This is from Maybelline, and it is their Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner in the shade 910 Bold Brown. So I'm just gonna place that on the waterline. Okay, so now I'm gonna pop on a pair of lashes, and these are just some of my favorites that I actually get on eBay, and I will link the specific pair that I'm using in the description box. So once I pop those on, I'll be right back to talk about the look and talk about that eyeshadow palette. Okay guys, so that is the completed eyeshadow look using this beautiful new palette here, and let me just say that I love this palette. I am so impressed with the quality. I think that it is just so amazing for the price. Like, I think it was like $8 Canadian or something. So you're getting 12 beautiful full pan eyeshadows and they're just such good quality. They're all mattes and they're buttery, they're pigmented, and I just love them. They honestly felt super high-end when I was applying them. They blended out really beautifully and I just loved it. I love the pigmentation and I cannot say enough good things about this little palette here. So definitely love it. I love the colors. I think it's just such a cute themed palette. It is their Smart Cookie palette. So it's like based on cookies and they have like a little cookie at the top there, and it's all of these like beautiful browns and neutrals and like a warm orangey shades. So just love the shades, love the palette. I love the fact that they're all matte, and just definitely this palette gets a thumbs up from me. I love it. I really like the look that I created using all the matte shades, and we did that little cut crease there which just kind of made that cream shadow like pop on the lid. So definitely love it. I'm excited to have this palette in my collection, and let me know if you guys would like to see more looks using this palette here. I would love to film more looks using it. So if you guys like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!